Today we're going to talk about ARK Invest, and a company that Cathie Wood said recently will 21x in the next couple of years and is going to be much, much bigger than Apple. She's been invested in this since 2015 and has upgraded her price target on it, and this isn't even Tesla.
I know a lot of people say, don't compare this to Apple, which is nearing $1 trillion, but this is so much bigger of an idea than even Apple, which is a pretty big idea.
So in today's video, I'm first going to talk about what investment she's talking about. After that, I'm going to go over her price target, what she said in 2017 in some interviews, and what she's saying now, how she even has a better outlook on the company, on the stock right now than she did years ago. And at the end of the video, I'm going to go over exactly what I'm doing with this investment, how I'm putting it into my portfolio, and how I've been integrating it recently. For those of you who are new here, my name is Michael. I'm a 21-year-old investor, entrepreneur, and full-time college student. In the past 30 days, I've made over $175,000 in one of the many investment accounts that I share with you in our private group on Patreon. So if you'd like to know more about what stocks I'm buying, what stocks I'm selling in my personal investment accounts, you want exclusive access to content that I don't share on YouTube, and if you want pre-release access to my new show called The Stock Room, where I talk about stocks with my 80-year-old friend who's a millionaire investor and entrepreneur, well then make sure to join our group using the link down below. Anyways, let's talk about Cathie Wood and ARK Invest. Recently, Cathie Wood came out and said in an interview with Bloomberg that she thinks Bitcoin will hit $500,000. Wood told viewers that the 160% year-to-date increase for the price of Bitcoin could just be the beginning, and she said the decision by the Federal Reserve to keep interest rates low this year will make Bitcoin an even more attractive investment for many investors and is one of the many reasons why Bitcoin's price has increased. Cathie Wood and ARK Invest are not invested specifically into Bitcoin because they're not allowed to, but she has been invested in a stock called GBTC, which is Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, since 2015.
Do you own the actual cryptocurrencies?
So we are not allowed to own them. We are a registered investment company, so we must own securities.
And the way that Grayscale Bitcoin Trust works is it basically follows the price of Bitcoin. So by investing in this stock, well then she's basically following the price of Bitcoin. Currently, right now, ARKW ETF owns 3.32% of their portfolio is in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. They own a total of almost 6 million shares of it for a total value of $176.7 million. They've owned this since 2015, and they're continuing to increase their position in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust because Cathie Woods is now saying that now since 2017, she's even more optimistic about the future of Bitcoin and where it is going.
It's once again flirting with $20,000. Can you put a price on your level of bullishness?
We are extremely bullish. Our confidence in it has gone up since 2017 because what we saw as it dropped from 20,000 to below 4,000, it actually got in well into the threes, I think in 2019, was that Bitcoin's share of the crypto asset ecosystem moved from the low 30% range in terms of value, network values, into the low 70% range. And what did that tell us? That confirmed in our mind that Bitcoin is the reserve currency of the crypto asset ecosystem. So it is the reserve cryptocurrency, which is a very important role. It's the flight to safety currency. It is Bitcoin's technology or Bitcoin's blockchain is the most secure of any other blockchain. And so it makes sense that Bitcoin would be the reserve currency of the crypto asset ecosystem.
So right now, one of the main reasons why she has become more bullish on Bitcoin is because many people are investing in Bitcoin versus other cryptocurrencies. So she's saying for the total crypto market, Bitcoin owns almost 70% of the entire crypto market, and this shows people's confidence in Bitcoin moving forward, how it's a great store of value for cryptocurrency market versus investing in other types of cryptocurrencies. Right now, she also explained how there are many other reasons why she's investing in Bitcoin. One of them is because it's a great store of value. She explained how if institutions allocate mid-single digits amount of Bitcoin, of the money they invest into Bitcoin, it would take the price to a range of $400,000 to $500,000. She's saying right now many institutional investors aren't invested in Bitcoin, and she said right now they're currently one of the only ETFs that invest in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC. Back in 2017, they were the only ETF, the only major company to be invested in Bitcoin. Now more companies are starting to invest in it, but still, she says, as institutions start allocating more money into Bitcoin, it could easily reach $400,000 to $500,000. This is because the supply of Bitcoin is limited at 21 million Bitcoin. So no matter what happens, that supply isn't going to increase. So if more money goes into Bitcoin from institutional investors, the price is going to skyrocket.
So, but to that point, I heard you fundamentally explain to Kevin and all of us here why you own Tesla. Fundamentally, why are you so heavily invested in the concept of Bitcoin? And that does not mean that I disagree with your investment.
Right. So the reason we moved in the first place is Art Laffer, my mentor, we wrote a white paper about Bitcoin. Could it serve the role of money? And so we went through that, and he ended up collaborating with us on that paper. He said, wow, finally, it's a rule. They're bringing rules-based monetary policy back. And he said, I think it's the wrong rule, a quantity rule, 21 million units. I don't think that's okay for a store of value. So that's a massive role for it here, store of value. And if you think it's going to take 10% of the gold market, then it's valued where it should be right now. If you think it's 20%, it should be double that, right? That's just store of value. The right rule would be a price rule, according to Art. And there are other crypto assets out there that are starting to think about price rules. Now, maybe Bitcoin, I think most core developers would rail against this, but maybe it will do a hard fork so it has both the store of value role and the means of exchange role. These are huge roles.
You don't think Bitcoin Cash is, I mean,
no.
So, okay, so that fork
Bitcoin
was not
Cash
that
is
fork.
subject to the same rule, which
Right.
is a 21
limit.
million unit. Yeah,
Okay.
so no.
And because of this hard limit on Bitcoin, Cathie Wood sees it hitting $500,000 in just a couple of years as big institutional investors start getting into it. Right now, what I'm currently doing with Bitcoin, how I'm investing in it, is I don't invest in the actual coins, but I am invested into Grayscale Bitcoin Trust through my ARKW holdings. So I do own a lot of ARKW, and by investing in that, I do own a small part of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And another stock I am invested in to give me some exposure to Bitcoin is Riot Blockchain. This has gone up over 300% in the last 6 months, and it also heavily influenced by the price of Bitcoin. I don't invest a lot into these, but I do want to have a small portion of my portfolio invested into something that gets exposure to Bitcoin. Therefore, I won't miss out on any opportunities, but if it does drop significantly, I'm really limiting my downside as well. So anyways, that's what Cathie Wood and ARK Invest has to say about Bitcoin, how it will 21x in the next couple of years, and how it is going to be much, much bigger than Apple. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 4 free stocks, each valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.